the streets of Cincinnati. Welcome to the jungle! Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah, stripes, 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 orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast disawake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers stripe the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who day, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Blue day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move dancing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo bottom, never stopping till the beast of beast and know who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move dancing on? Now who wanna move on? Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Jackpot Joey Burrow, and still home of Luke Fickle. Hopefully for a while. We'll find out. Now, do you a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,416 subscribers. That is awesome. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, like I said, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so. Go to the YouTube channel Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the bell for the notification. Hit the button for the subscription. And every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat, we're doing super chats. So if you'd like to support what I'm doing, or just make sure that you get your comment read, please give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. So, like I said, if you need a house, apartment, condo, they usually got them all listed there. If you don't want to do any of if you own a rental property, you don't want to run it anymore, get T Properties to call, and they will take care of all your management needs. All right, guys, let's get into this. So, yesterday, it dropped. Brian Kelly has taken a bag of money, and I mean a bag of money, $95 million to be exact, over 10 years, to become the head coach of the LSU Tigers. What does this mean for our beloved Cincinnati Bearcats? Well, I don't know. Right now, I don't think it means a whole lot because I honestly don't think Luke Fickle is really paying attention to that right now. I really do believe he is concentrating on this Saturday at 4 o'clock and beating the Houston Cougars. Beyond that, I don't know. This was one of the jobs that I'm worried about. I was worried about this job or Ohio State. If they ever came open, I think these are the two jobs that he might leave for. Now, the question being, this is where I think we have a chance of keeping him. I think Notre Dame likes Marcus Freeman. He's already in there as a defense coordinator. He has lots of 5-star recruits coming in there because of Marcus Freeman. Also, if UC takes care of business and they beat Houston, which they should this Saturday, then that means UC is most likely in the college football playoffs. So is Luke really going to leave his team high and dry when they're going to the biggest game in school history? I don't know. If Notre Dame offers you $95 million, kind of hard to turn down. So my question is Brian Kelly screwing the Bearcats again? I don't know. We'll see. Now let's get to some of the comments here. Lindsay says Fickle is staying at UC. That's my prediction. I hope so. I'll put it to you this way. Look, I think he has a bet if he's in it to win championships, national championships, with the Bearcats going to the Big 12. I think he has a better shot of winning multiple national championships at UC than he would if he went to Notre Dame. Notre Dame, you have the threshold of the academics where it's hard to get the players that you could get at UC moving into the Big 12. Not that you couldn't get them, but it makes it harder. Also, Notre Dame is independent. So it would be like what he had to go through this year with the Bearcats playing in the American Conference. If you go to the Big 12, you win that every year, you're almost automatically guaranteed to be into the college football playoffs. So if it comes down to winning, I think UC has a better shot. Now, if it comes down to money, like I said, Kelly just got $95 million. Lincoln Riley got that much and more, like 2 houses. They're buying his 2 houses in Oklahoma, and they're buying him a $9 million house or something like that in California. So the money wise, I don't see UC being able to match. Now, they do have the money coming in from the Big 12. And if you make it to the college football playoffs, they'll have money coming in from that. All that wrapped up could help us hopefully keep Luke, but we will see. All right, let's get to this. Let's see here. Fickle. I see. Lindsay says he won't be like Brian Kelly did. I see. The thing is, look, Brian Kelly is ghosting everybody, kind of like he did in Cincinnati. He left and he's not talking to anybody. The problem with this is the way the college football recruiting is scheduled. You have early signing recruiting coming up here. So these schools have to move quickly. These coaches, if you take that job, you have to leave now. It's just the way it's set up. It sucks. I hate it. They need to change it. That would fix this problem as far as coaches leaving their team high and dry. That's why these coaches leave. I have a really hard time seeing Luke leaving if he has a legit shot at being in the national or in the college football playoffs. Just my thoughts. Like I said, I'm a diehard Bearcat fan. So we will see what happens. Crip, what's up, buddy? Haven't talked to you in a while. Not worried about Luke Fickle leaving Cincinnati because his boss, a.k.a. his wife, loves the city, LOL. Well, Brian Kelly's wife supposedly loved the city too, and they still left. And Lindsay says they're working on a contract with Fickle right now. Yeah, they've been working on a contract with him for a while. Yeah, UC is. So that has been in the works for a while. So, like I said, I can see it this way. Put it this way. Next year, this is the way I look at the two jobs, Notre Dame and Cincinnati. Either Luke Fickle is going to be the coach at Notre Dame, and then Marcus Freeman is going to be the coach at UC, or it's going to be vice versa. Marcus Freeman is going to be the coach at Notre Dame, and Fickle will stay here, is what I really think is going to happen. The thing is Notre Dame willing to wait for Luke to be done with everything? Because I cannot see Luke leaving his team when they get into the college football playoffs. I just don't see that happening. You've done all this work for 5 years. You've been with these kids, some of these kids for 5 years, excuse me, working your butt off to get to this point. I know it's money, but you also got to have some, I'm not even saying loyalty, commitment, just wanting to see it through, you know? That's where I have a hard time seeing that he would just up and leave. I could see him leaving, but we'll see. Royal Flush Cherry, what's up? I thought we already established that Fickle will be back next year. We did until Notre Dame job came open. That's the one job I was worried about. That one, like I said, that and the Ohio State job. Those are two jobs I've been worried about this whole time. He turned down Michigan State, and you know they got a lot of money. So it's not necessarily, he's not necessarily driven by money. It was money he would have left and took all the money from Michigan State, 2 years ago, and he didn't do it. It's more of the job at Notre Dame, being the Notre Dame head coach, you know, be the prestige or whatever that comes with that, you know. You're Catholic. Catholics, you know, are most of them are bred to root for Notre Dame in some shape or form. That's the thing where I think that scares me that he could come, he could leave. We will see. Lindsay, I think the contract will give Fickle $50 million. Hey, that sounds good. I have no idea. I have not heard any money or anything. Blackthorn Luke Cash says goodbye. I hope not. I really, really, really do. But I mean, I'm trying to keep it upbeat. And look, let's just say Luke Fickle does leave. I think Marcus Freeman would come here and be the head coach and be plug and play, and we could keep it rolling like what we have right now. Because Marcus was here from the beginning. He helped Luke build this. So getting Marcus Freeman would not be a bad choice whatsoever. I love Marcus Freeman. I wish he would still be here for our defense coordinator. I want Luke to stay. Like we all want Luke to stay. But I really do believe Luke, when he says press conference, he's not paying attention to that. I don't think he's taking phone calls. If Notre Dame calls him, I don't think he's answering the phone right now. I think he's really concentrating on Houston and finishing this season out, winning the Big 12, winning the American Conference Championship game, which this will be the third year in a row we've went to it. And when we win, it'll be back-to-back wins. Now, I have some interesting stuff about Houston's coach, Dana Holzman. He is 9-31 versus ranked opponents. And he is 1-8 versus unranked opponents. So he's not very good against ranked opponents. Now, UC obviously is hopefully going to be number 3 or 2 tonight, which I kind of would be surprised. I think they're going to be at 4, but hopefully they'll move them up. So it all is rolling toward that the Bearcats are going to win this thing. And if the Bearcats win this thing and they get into the college football playoffs, like I said, I just have a hard time seeing Luke leave. I just do. I think it's just, how can you leave when you built this thing from, I mean, when Luke got here, the program was in shambles. There was nothing there. And he stayed, and he's potentially taking a group of 5 school, potentially to be the first group of 5 school to play in the college football playoffs ever. That's a chance. That's a once in a lifetime chance. There's been so many coaches that have tried to make this happen and have failed at it. And Luke is on the verge of making it happen. Is that bigger than going to Notre Dame? I think it is. But again, I'm a Bearcat fan. So we'll see. Terry, let's see here. UCS managed to survive major coaches leaving before this. If Fickle left at the moment, I think UC football will return to the dark ages. See, that's if it's Marcus Freeman, I don't think so. I think I think because look, Marcus Freeman and Luke Fickle are basically the same person. I mean, hell, they lived in the same damn house until Marcus Freeman got his house built here. Marcus Freeman still has a house here. His family's still here. So that's where I'm like, if it's Marcus Freeman, I don't think it's going to be that big of a drop-off. I really don't. And if you look at all the 5-star recruits that Marcus has going to Notre Dame because of Marcus Freeman, then he can bring them with him to Cincinnati. We'll find out. But like I said, I'm trying not to worry about it. I've been trying not to talk about all this, the coaches leaving, all this stuff, because I really didn't think Luke was going to leave unless one of these two jobs came open. And unfortunately, Brian Kelly has decided to screw the University of Cincinnati again, in my opinion. Cincinnati Bengal. What do you think our hit code is going to leave us? I think you meant our head coach. It's going to leave us. We never had any head coach stay with us for years and years. Look up Alabama coach. I think he's going to stay with us. Well, actually, Luke Fickle and unfortunately Tommy Tuberville have stayed the longest. I mean, you had Mark D'Antonio stayed 3 years, he left. You had Brian Kelly stayed 3 years, he left. Butch Jones stayed 3 years, left. All of them stayed 3 years and left. Tuberville stayed 5, got fired. Thank God. Fickle, this is his 5th year. So, like I said, he's not money driven. You know, he's not in it for the money. He's in it for the right situation and the right job. And we all know that he likes it here. And he's an Ohio guy. So, but it is Notre Dame. I mean, no matter how much we want to, as Bearcat fans, we want to trash on Notre Dame. It is Notre Dame. They've got the heritage. They've got the national championships. They got their own damn channel. I mean, they, you know, they have things that UC will never have just because of years and years of being Notre Dame. Edward, Kelly got $95 million from LSU. Notre Dame refused to match that. I don't know if they refused to match. I don't even know if he gave him a chance to see this. What is this? Check your messenger. New tweet about the job. Personally, I think Marcus Freeman gets the Notre Dame job. I hope you're right, Beetle. I have to check it out after the show. But that is, and put it this way, Chad Brendel was on 1530 Homer today, and he had from the Athletic, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy who covers the Irish, and that guy wanted Marcus Freeman to become the Notre Dame new head coach. And the thing is, with Marcus Freeman, if he becomes the Notre Dame head coach, it's another plug and play. They keep all their coaches, pretty much all the coaches. They keep all their 5 stars. You know, they're not losing a major amount. It won't be a complete, rebuild and restart. So that's why I think he can, or excuse me, Marcus Freeman would be a very good. Let's see, what is this? Very good fit for Notre Dame. All right, let's see. I'm checking my messenger. This is from Dennis Dodd. I don't even know who this is, but Notre Dame will apparently wait for Luke Fickle. Apparently, their number one choice. Jack Schwarberg suggested he will not be named an interim coach. Yeah, I already knew all this stuff. Yes. I was like, yes. They said they're going to wait. I understand. Yeah. They said they're going to wait, which means they have to wait to talk to him. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to wait to get him. So, yes, I already saw that, Beetle. I appreciate it, though. Yes. So, I mean, there's a very good chance that Fickle will leave. And the thing is, if Notre Dame is willing to leave, they are willing to wait. They better know that Fickle is very interested. Because in my mind, they're going to have to wait until after the college football playoffs, which they're going to be behind a lot of people, a lot of schools. Let's see. Unfortunately, the spotlight is brighter outside of UC. Yeah, it's Notre Dame. I mean, I hate to say it. It's Notre Dame. I mean, it is what it is. We got UC to a great point, and it sucks that 12 years ago, we had an undefeated team, and we lost our coach. This year, we have back-to-back undefeated teams, and the same school could be calling to come take our coach, which just is irritating. Terry, I agree, Ice, but if we don't get Freeman, yikes. Well, the thing is, Terry, where's Freeman? I mean, I don't see Freeman. I don't see Oklahoma trying to get Freeman. I really do think, I think Freeman's got 3 places, I take it back. Either he's the head coach of Notre Dame, or he's the head coach of UC, or goes down to LSU to be the D coordinator. So that's kind of where I think the 3 places that Freeman will end up. Obviously, he wants to be a head coach. Wherever he can be a head coach at is the job he's going to take. If neither one of them get offered to him, which I really do think he's going to get offered one of them. And we'll find out more. Put it to you this way. After the game on Saturday, like next week and the week after that, if Notre Dame still has not named a head coach, there's a very, very good chance that Luke Fickle is going to be the next head coach for Notre Dame. But Notre Dame says they're willing to wait. Nobody else is. And if you're going to wait that long, like I said, you're going to be so far behind everybody else as far as recruiting and getting ready for next year. You know, they might get a little itchy, like, oh, we can't wait much longer. Is he going to come or not? You know, so that's where I'm like, yeah, they say they're going to wait, but we'll see what happens once they get to it. I mean, I think they're hoping UC loses to Houston and then Fickle's gone. That's what I think they're willing to wait on. Now, when UC wins and Fickle doesn't want to talk to him until after the college football playoffs, which is in a month, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Rick Trends Olnick, I think it's how you say it. You say, yep, it's Notre Dame. Excuse me. I got a tickle in my throat. Like I said, we will find out. Stupid cough. Sorry about that. All right. We're on Flesh Terry. This is Sobering Talk after a great Bengals win. It is, but it's the news of the day, and that's what's going on. What? B-Dubs is out of traditional wings. Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable. Ugh. Does that mean I have to get boneless ones? Oh, that's Mrs. Ice. She's giving me B-Dubs for tonight. Everybody's run out of wings. What is up with this? Run out of everything in America here. Blackthorn. Maybe if UC kicks ass in the playoffs, the spotlight, things may change as it should. And that's the thing, Thorn. When UC moves, if we have Luke Fickle moving with us to the Big 12, we have a chance to dominate the Big 12. You know, you do. Luke Fickle has a chance to build something even better than he has now. And that's where I'm like, you could be the godfather of UC football. You could be the greatest coach ever. And that's where people are like, well, you know, he has a better chance to go here if he wins, you know, to win national championships if he goes to Notre Dame or this. I don't think so. If you go to the Big 12, UC has a chance to basically replace Oklahoma. Oklahoma has pretty much been the representative from the Big 12 into the college football playoffs. They have. Almost every year, Lincoln Riley has gotten Oklahoma in there. I think they're the only one from the Big 12 that I could think of at the top of my head. And that's where I'm saying, you go to Notre Dame, look what Brian Kelly did. He got them to a college football playoffs. They got blown out. He got them to a national championship. They got blown out. You can't get the same guys at Notre Dame as you can get at Cincinnati in the Big 12. That's just my personal opinion. But I also think there's a lot of facts to that because of the academic level they have at Notre Dame and the guys that you can't get in. It's just the way it is. That's where I'm like, Notre Dame can get there, but I don't necessarily know if Notre Dame can win. Now people say, well, what about UC? I think UC has a chance to compete in this thing and not get their doors blown off. I mean, I always keep referencing last year to the Peach Bowl. And everything, well, that's last year. Georgia and Cincinnati are basically the same freaking teams they were last year. I mean, Georgia has a different quarterback. But other than that, they got the same players. And if it wasn't for a 55-yard field goal, the Bearcats would have won that game. So that's my point. Is like, he has the recruits now. Just wait till he gets to the Big 12. They say, well, he can do that when he goes to Notre Dame. There's a difference. There's a ceiling. There's only certain players you can get into Notre Dame. So that's where, you know, to me, you have a better shot of winning championships and multiple championships at UC. Exciting times in Cincinnati. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, this sucks, but every time, like, and I don't want to hear that we're stepping stones. I mean, Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame. You got the money, anybody will leave, you know? And look, I don't like Brian Kelly. I respect what he did, but they gave him $95 million freaking dollars. Hell, I love Cincinnati. I might move somewhere for $95 million over 10 years. That's that's grandkids' money. You can't beat that. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. Rob says boneless wings are chicken nuggets. They are. That's why I actually like the bone in them. Rob, it's here. UC really could build off this. Give us something sustainable for the next few years at least. You mean the win if we win get into the college football playoffs? Yes. I believe that. Yep, the Big 12 is not the Big 12 anymore. See, I have a thing with that too. The Big 12, what has the Big 12 been? I mean, really. They've had Oklahoma. Texas is nothing. Baylor was good for a couple years. That's it. In my opinion, I think USC, Central Florida and Cincinnati and Houston, I think Houston's up and coming. I think those three are going to be the higher leverage programs in the Big 12 moving forward. Baylor always has a shot too. I think it's actually going to be a very competitive, I put it this way, more competitive conference than it is now. It's just my opinion because of the schools that are coming in the way they're built. Gary's singing, should I stay or should I go? You should stay. You should stay. Royal Flesh Terry. Oklahoma is heading to the SEC without coaching stability. Unless they poach a marquee name. Yeah, honestly, I thought the defense coordinator from Clemson was going there, but I think he's going to Florida. And people are saying Lincoln Riley is scared to go in the SEC. That's the reason he left. I think he's smart. I mean, seriously, the SEC. I mean, somebody told me, he's like, well, Luke Fickle goes to LSU and they recruit like that. You know, he could win championships there. Dude, you still got Alabama. You still got Georgia. You got Auburn that comes up every once in a while. And then you got LSU. You got 4 top 10 teams there. Hell no, if I was Lincoln Riley, I wouldn't want to go there. No, why would you want to go there and get your ass kicked? I mean, Bergeron just won the national championship 2 years ago, and he's fired now. Why would you want to go there? I mean, for $95 million, yes. I mean, Brian Kelly is 60 years old. He'll go there until he either gets fired or he retires, and then he's probably done, you know? So I get that. But if you're a young coach and you want to, you're Lincoln Riley, you have a name for yourself already, you want to go to the Pac-12. You want to go there and dominate. You go there and dominate, you got a straight shot to the college football playoffs, just like I say Cincinnati does if Luke stays with the Bearcats to move into the Big 12. Crip, Luke Fickle's agent is smart, putting all the information out there. Luke is going to get paid big money to stay in Cincinnati. Oh, they're going to have to pay him. I mean, trust me, he's getting paid from somebody. He is getting paid from somebody. That is for sure. And he deserves it too. Blackthorn. I think a coach would want to have a team like UC because if you make a small market team into a big team, you'll be a legend forever. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. They will build a statue for you. You know, I mean, Brian Kelly is the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. They ain't built no statues for Brian Kelly. They're not. You know, yes, you're right. BYU is coming too. That's another good up and coming school too as well. You're right. Tommy, what's going on? Teams watch coaches earlier because of earlier. Yes. Yeah. Earlier signing periods. Yes. That's exactly why this all happens, because of the early signing period. And in my opinion, that they need to change that. The NCAA should just have they should get rid of the early signing period because of this. So these coaches can stay, you know, at least to finish the year out and not just leave their teams high and dry. But they don't have any rules in football. It's in college football. It's like the Wild Wild West. John, who day, brother? Let's keep the streak going. Still owe you a beer. I will be there next Sunday. Awesome, man. Sounds good. I will be there. I'm very excited because we have a great football weekend coming up here in Cincinnati. Sunday at 4 o'clock, you get UC and Houston for the whole ball of wax in the American Athletic Conference. And like I said, it's a huge deal. And the thing is, we're talking about all this stuff with Luke Fickle. Tonight's the night. We'll find out if UC stays at number 4 or they move up to 3. I would love to be at 3 because 3. I want to face Georgia. I don't want to face them in the first round of the playoffs. I want to face them for the whole thing. So I'm hoping we get moved up to 3. But I can completely see Michigan getting moved up to number 2. And Alabama stay at 3 and us at 4. I can completely see that. I mean, honestly, Alabama should be 4. I mean, honestly, Auburn should have beat Alabama. They should have. It's so frustrating watching that game. But I'm not completely worried about that because I think Georgia is going to curb stomp Alabama in the SEC championship game. When that happens, then I think Alabama is out. Then you move UC up to hopefully 3, and maybe Oklahoma State if they win, you put them at 4. And that's the thing. Another thing that scares me too is if Oklahoma State, they just beat a ranked Oklahoma. They're going to play a ranked Baylor. So that's back-to-back weeks of ranked teams. We're going to play a ranked Houston team. We're still undefeated. We beat everybody on our schedule. But I could see Oklahoma State jumping us on us staying at 4. I hope not, but it is what it is. And like Luke Fickle said in his press conference today, there's nothing we can do about it. Absolutely nothing we can do about it. Dean, what's up? OU is in trouble. Going to the SEC, lost their coach and 4 of their top recruits within 12 hours. Yeah, they're in trouble. I mean, I said this when I was very happy that UC is going to the Big 12. The only reason Oklahoma and Texas are going to the SEC is money. You're not going there to improve your college football team. Yes, you improve your facilities and all because all the money you get. You improve all that stuff. But to improve your chances of winning, it's diminished. And this is, I think, one of the reasons Lincoln Riley left. He wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. Yo, TZ. Yo, it's Joe. What's up? Hey, big homie. Happy we beat Pittsburgh Tuesday. Yes. You mean Sunday? Yes, I'm very, very excited we beat Pittsburgh. That was awesome. One of the best games I have been to in the jungle. It was so much fun. Okay, Terry, what are the details of the Fickle's current contract at UC? I do not have those written down, so I don't know offhand. I know he got a raise not that long ago. So we will see. Let's see here. And then it says, does this proposal often happen to Notre Dame? If UC loses to Notre Dame earlier this year? Oh, no. Hell no. No, I mean, if UC loses to Notre Dame beats UC, Luke Fickle's staying here. We're not. If UC loses to Notre Dame, we're ranked in the top 25. We are nowhere close to being in the top 4 at all. I mean, that was a huge, huge win. That's the biggest win on our schedule. So, by that aspect, it's a good thing for our season, but it's a bad thing for possibly losing Luke Fickle. Blackthorn, I had to bounce. Great show. Adios there, Thorn. Appreciate you, brother. You gotta go pick up your kids, I think. Terry, does this offer come? Oh, I already read that one. My bad. Let's see here. Yo, it's Joe. Can't wait to see how many UC players the Bengals get in the draft. I would love to get Sauce. I've said that over and over and over again. I'd like to get all of them. That would be awesome. But we're not going to. If I had my choice, I'd love to get Sauce. But I have a feeling that Sauce Gardner is not going to be there when the Bengals pick because the Bengals are right now in the playoffs and they're going to pick way far down. And now one thing is funny, I was talking to one of the guys I was tailgating with on Sunday, and I said that Desmond Ridder is most likely going to be the second quarterback pick, not the second overall pick, just the second quarterback picked in the draft. I think the kid from Pittsburgh is going to be the first quarterback picked. And He looked at me, he goes, Desmond Ritter's not even going to get drafted. I said, have you watched any of UC's football games? Yeah, Desmond Ritter's getting drafted. I said, yeah, if he's not the second quarterback, he's going to be the third quarterback taken. So, yes, he is getting drafted for sure. I just thought that was kind of funny because he also said the Squealers were going to kick our ass, and, well, that didn't happen either. Tommy, got to watch Oklahoma State. They have some momentum if they win against Baylor Saturday. Yeah, exactly. That's where to me, like, that's where I really want Georgia, and Georgia fans, if you're out there, you guys need to curb stomp Alabama for us. Get Alabama out of here. Not even be a game. I mean, look at what they did against Auburn. If they play like that against Georgia, Georgia will destroy them. They will destroy them. And I think we'll just get Alabama out of here. Because what's going to take me off is if they barely lose to Georgia, they will put a 2-loss Alabama team in there. I have no faith whatsoever in the college football playoff committee. And then if Oklahoma State beats Baylor, then Oklahoma State's in, and then I think UC might be out altogether, which would really suck. So I'm going to be rooting for Baylor. I'm going to be rooting for Georgia like crazy this Saturday. Of course, we're rooting for go watch our Bearcats. Matthew, sure going to miss listening to countered Rip Baker on a weekly basis. Find it hard to imagine Cleveland wants to keep him after this season. Well, the thing is, I'll put it to you this way, Matthew. And this it kind of is the same thing I'd said about Andy Dalton. If you're not going to sign Baker, then who you're replacing him with? Now, I know I've heard, now there's quarterbacks. Now, this is different from when Andy Dalton was the Bengals quarterback. There are going to be quarterbacks that are available. Deshaun Watson is available. Aaron Rodgers might be available. You got Jimmy Garoppolo from the 49ers. So there will be quarterbacks available that I think are better than Baker Mayfield. And I think that they should probably try to go after. Will they? I don't know. And that's the point where you got to figure out, are you going to be able to trade for him or not? And if you're not willing to trade for him, then you got to stick with Baker. Rick, he says, Fickle makes $3.6 million a year. All right. Either way, he is getting a raise. They're going to have to give him more money. And he deserves more money. You know, I mean, well, does anybody really deserve $95 million? But you gotta go with the way the market is. And that's the market. Hopefully we get some big donor to donate a whole bunch of money. John, I don't want to take away from Cincinnati. I hope you guys win it all. Kind of like Kentucky with Stoops, letting him coach and giving him a chance to prove himself. Most SEC teams don't let their coaches coach for years. People will be talking about UK next year, on pace to have an historic recruiting class of all time. Hey, Kentucky has been on the up and up. I will tell you that for sure. I think they beat Florida for the first time since, I think, 86. So Stoops is definitely moving the program in the right direction. But the thing is, Stoops has been there, I want to say, longer than Fickle, I think. I can't remember. And there were talk about Stoops actually going to Florida. But like I said, that job got picked up by the Clemson defensive coach. Dean, there we go. Fickle's contract runs through 2026, $3.4 million. Like I said, you're talking $3.4 million, and Brian Kelly got $95 million. So like I said, you see, to keep Luke Fickle, they have got to up it. Somebody has got to come in with a bag of cash. I won't say they had to keep him, but he deserves it. To keep him, you have to give him more money. I mean, you have to give him a longer contract, more money. I mean, that has to happen. And like I said, I know they're already in negotiations with this. And just because there are negotiations with it doesn't mean he's not going to leave. Joe, can't believe TJ Watt did not get flagged for that play on Burrow. That play on Burrow was ridiculous. That was silly. I mean, TJ Watt was so frustrated. The Squealers were so frustrated. Because TJ Watt didn't touch Burrow. Didn't touch him at all. And I said this on, and I wish I brought this up yesterday with the Bengals captain, but I forgot. Well, last Monday's show, people were asking me, when's the offense going to get consistent? And I said, when the offensive line gets consistent. Last week or Sunday, that was as consistent of an offensive line from the Bengals as I've ever seen. And you saw what happened. You put 41 on them. Hopefully, the offensive line just keeps getting better and better and better. Now, the worry part is that Riley Reef has a sprained ankle. And after the game, Zach Taylor wasn't too worried about it yesterday. He's like, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay, because Riley Reef played a great game. That offensive line played a great game. That's the best game they played all year, in my opinion. And hopefully he is ready to go. And that goes to us having a consistent offense, I think. All right, Tommy, back to the Bearcat conversation here. The playoff committee is the biggest joke. Even the media rips them. Yeah, they're in a thankless position sometimes. But the thing is, this playoff committee and the way this format was never built for anything other than Power 5 schools. It's the way they set it up, and I will give them credit, because they have kept UC. They've had chances to knock UC down, because you had the South Florida game where we didn't blow them out. You had the Tulsa game where we barely won. Those are games where they could have gone, well, you guys are undefeated, but Tulsa, you had to get a goal line stand. We'll just knock you down. And they didn't. So I will give them credit for that. That's where I am semi-confident that they're going to put us in as long as we beat Houston. I'm not completely confident. I won't be completely confident that we're in the college football playoffs till the last one, until the final one, and we're in. Then I'll be like, holy crap, we're going to play for the national, or I have a chance to play for a national championship. That is awesome. Crip, what's going on? Luke is not leaving. Yes, you said this already. His wife will let him. I know you said this already. Remember, she has half the money and all the tootsies. If only that was only the only way, that was fact that we could keep, because his wife likes it here. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I want Luke to stay. I'm just trying to be real. I'm trying to be real about this, that there's a very good possibility that he will leave, because like I said, the two schools that I was worried about is Ohio State and Notre Dame. I did not think either one of them was going to come open. Stupid LSU had to come with a bag of money for Brian Kelly, and he took it. Chris, talk about Sauce Gardner. Sauce is being undeterred by a lot of the national media. We could get lucky and get him. Wouldn't mind Bryant in the second after the big O lineman in the first. Sauce Gardner, honestly, is probably the second ranked cornerback in the country, behind Stringer from LSU. So it doesn't matter with the national media. It's what the people who know what they're talking about are how they feel about Sauce. And from everything that I've read, Sauce is the number, depending on who you talk to, number one or number two cornerback coming out. Now, Kobe Bryant, I think we got a shot at getting him in the second round. We'll see. Let's see here. Terry's got upset of the week here. Let's see here. Upset of the week. Iowa beats Michigan. That would be huge. That would be, oh my God, that would be so good. Which I think I wouldn't put it past them, Terry, because look at it this way. Michigan State blew out Michigan. Ohio State blew out Michigan State. And then Michigan blew out Ohio State. So, who knows? Iowa would come in and blow out Michigan. Who knows, man? I mean, the way Michigan State looked a couple weeks ago when they played Michigan, I'm like, wow, they're like a top 5 team, and then they laid an egg ever since then. Ohio State looked unbeatable against Michigan State, and then got beat by Michigan. So, hey, you never know. It could happen. That's why you have to play the games. Joe, what's going on? I love Big Spain. Q is awesome. I love that dude. He's won he was on top of TJ as soon as it happened. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. All right, let's get back to Bengals talk. Bengals talk here. The offensive line. This is one thing I love about this team. Another thing I love about this team. They stick up for one another. And they don't do it in cheap ways. They stick up for them. They didn't get a penalty, but they stuck up for the quarterback. And Joe is so nonchalant and cool. At least he was at the press conference. While it's happening, he's got to be like, "Would you get the blank off of me? Like, what are you doing?" And he's just grabbing it, going, "No!" It's like, just relax. You look like a freaking moron, TJ Watt. Like, great, you blocked the quarterback. Good job. I mean, it was just silly, but I love Joe's reaction. He's like, "I just told him good block. Big deal." I love that. All right, Terry, back to the UC talk. I think a 3 or 4 score win against Houston cements UC's spot in the college football playoffs. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think a win. Okay. Yes, and no. It depends. I'm telling you, Terry, it depends on what Oklahoma State does. It really does. If Oklahoma State, they already beat Oklahoma. If they beat Baylor and they're the Big 12 champion, they're probably in. That's why we need Georgia to crush Alabama, and hopefully Iowa beat Michigan. That would be great. That's where I'm really concerned about them jumping Oklahoma State over us. I really am. I mean, it just, when you have back-to-back weeks of beating teams that were ranked, and this week beating a team that's ranked, and the winner of it is the winner of the Big 12. The Big 12 is a Power 5 conference. It is. That scares me. So we need more chaos. Like I said, I'm not completely worried about it because I really do think Georgia is going to crush Alabama. So I can see, this is kind of my prediction. I think Alabama is going to get beat. I think they're out. Then you put Oklahoma State in, Michigan. You got Georgia. I think it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma, or UC, and then Oklahoma State is what I think for the final one. We'll see. Now today, I think it's gonna be Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, and UC is what I think for tonight, which we'll find out here in a couple of hours. John, what's going on? Fickle. I'm going to, what's that up? The pet detective Fickle. Anyway, sorry. Fickle for sure deserves the money. You guys are having a historic year, and for sure in the playoffs. Alabama is going to get killed by Georgia. Won't be close. That's what I'm thinking too. Georgia's defense is crazy good. If Luke leaves, who would you get the coach? You mean the playoff game? Oh God. See, that's the thing is if you're talking about leaving if we're in the playoffs, that's where I don't think Luke is going to leave. That's where when earlier they said Tim Beadle said that Notre Dame is willing to wait. I don't think Luke is going to leave before the playoff game. I cannot see that happen. I just can't see anybody doing that. You work so hard. You've been here for 5 years building this program up to this. Let's be honest, it would be a historic game, a non-Power 5 school in the college football playoffs. It's never happened. I can't see Luke just going, you know what? I see you guys. I'm going to go to Notre Dame. You have fun. I can't see that. I just can't. I mean, if it happens, we're screwed. we're not going to win. I mean, I almost guarantee you that we won't win. But I just don't see him leaving until after the playoff game. Now that's where I'm like, is Notre Dame willing to wait that long? Because, like I said, that's a month. That's a long time to wait for your head coach. So it's this. Okay, winning on Saturday is huge in 2 reasons. One, obviously, you win the American. You have most likely have your shot at the college football playoff. It most likely makes it really hard for Luke Fickle to leave. So I won't say even more pressure, but this, and we said this a million times, this could be the biggest game in UC history. I think for what could happen if they lose this game, could change the direction and the course of University of Cincinnati football forever. It could. If you lose this game, Fickle's gone. Right? It's going to go to Notre Dame, I think. You win, he might be staying for a while because Notre Dame, I know they said they're willing to wait. They're willing to wait a week. I know that. I don't know if they're willing to wait a month. We'll see. Terry, Michigan is coming off an emotional, hard-fought victory over the Ohio State Buckeyes. The letdown against Iowa is almost inevitable. That's true. But if they win, they have a lot at stake. They win the Big Ten title, and they're in the college football playoff. So I agree with you, Terry, but there's a lot more at stake for them where I don't think they're necessarily going to have a letdown. I hope they do. I really do, but I would be shocked. Joe, good day, brother. Have a good day. Crown, I think Alabama, number one, wide out. What? I think Alabama's number one wide out first half. I have no idea what that means. Tommy, don't look past 11-1 Houston, though. It can be a tight game Saturday. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a well-fought game. I think Houston is coming in here wanting to prove something. And that's the thing for the last 2 years, especially this year. UC has gotten everybody's best shot. This is Houston's bowl game. No matter what bowl game they go to, this game is bigger than that one as far as the competition goes. So yeah, they're going to bring their best game, their best shot, and see what happens. It's going to be fun to watch. Crip. We'll be number 3 tonight, Ice. I hope so. And number 2 next week. Ice, it's going to happen. Luke's not leaving. Not happening. Go Bearcats. Have faith, Ice man. Like, Crip, it's kind of like being a Bengals fan. You have PTSD. There's been so many coaches that have left. Like I said, I'll be honest. I didn't think Kelly was going to leave. I really didn't. Because kind of the same reasons I'm saying that I think Luke has a better shot, especially of us moving into the Big 12, of winning national championships and multiple ones at UC moving into the Big 12 than he would if he goes to Notre Dame. I said that about Brian Kelly. We're in the Big East then, which you had a shot at going to the BCS then. I thought he had it rolling. I think he has a better shot of getting better players and getting into the college football playoffs, back to the BCS at UC. I was wrong. He left. So I'm just trying to keep it real. I mean, I look through everything as orange colored sunglasses, and when it comes to my Bearcats, red color sunglasses. But you've got to look at the history and the money. I mean, he might not get $95 million, but Notre Dame can bring him some money. We'll see. Chris, time to start getting their recruits to come to UC. You mean UC or Notre Dame? All right. Rick, question. If Georgia is number 1 and UC is 4, what do you think this point spread would be? Ooh, on a neutral field? Well, Georgia would definitely be favored. That is for sure. To be honest, they might favor Georgia by 14 points or more than that. They might. It's just because Georgia has blown. I mean, they've literally blown everybody out. The experts won't give the Bearcats a chance, I think. But they haven't given us a chance all year. And look what happened. Okay. Terry, true. Alabama's number 1 wide receiver is suspended for one half of the SEC. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay, they were suspended. Oh, okay. Oh, for that targeting. Yeah, for that targeting call. Yep. Let's see here. Lee, what's going on? My boy, Lee Broadnex. What's going on, brother? Fickle won't do what Kelly did to us. Lee, man, brother, I hope so. Like I said, that's why I think winning this game Saturday is even bigger for the future of the program. If he wins, like I said, Notre Dame said they'd wait. I know Notre Dame will wait a week to find out if he wins or not. Are they going to wait a month? Because I cannot see Luke leaving when we're going to play in the college football playoff. I cannot see that. I can't see any coach doing that. I can't see it. Because you're in this. Yes, you want to make money, but you're in this to win. And you have a chance to do it, and you're going to leave to go somewhere else to start all over again and build what you have here, build that up. That's where I'm just like, I can't see that happening, and I can't see Notre Dame waiting that long to hire a head coach because of the earlier recruitment, of having their 5-star players hanging in the balance of, are you going to have a coach there's so much stuff that would just be hanging there waiting and no movement and nobody knowing what's going on because you don't have a coach. So that's where I say in for the history of the Bearcat program moving forward, this is a huge win to get. Roy, Alabama's wide receiver got kicked out. Yeah, the helmet. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Let's see here. Does Fickle stay if we win it all? See, now that's interesting there, Terry, because I could see him leaving because he won it all. He did everything he wanted to accomplish here. He won the national championship. All right, I did what I did for you, Cincinnati. I'm off to Notre Dame. I could see that. I could see that happening. There's a lot of me that I could see him leaving, unless Notre Dame is willing to wait a month to see if we win this whole damn thing. We'll see. Lee, we'll be pulling for Georgia. Oh, hell yes. I'll be the number one dog fan around. I'll be pulling for them for sure. Because I want a rematch. Well, first of all, I want to beat Alabama. Second of all, I want a rematch. I want to run it back. And I'm like, I'm surprised. I'm talking college football, and none of my Georgia boys are on here. Doggy's not on here. Maurice isn't on here. None of these guys are on here. But I want to run it back. I mean, that game was so much fun to play last year. I want to run it back. Because I know my boy Jeremy, he's a big Ohio State fan. He's like, I would love to play UC, for the whole thing. That'd be great. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm like, and I'm back of my head going, I really want to play Georgia. I want to run it back. I want a shot at them again. Because I'm telling you, if our offensive lineman doesn't get kicked out of that game last year, they're not putting pressure on Desmond, because they didn't get pressure on Desmond until our offensive lineman got kicked out of that game last year. I'm just saying, I want to run it back. I'm excited. And that's what's so weird about this whole thing with Luke. I'm not scared that he's going to leave. Maybe in the back of my mind, I don't think he's going to leave. But I don't know. I'm not, oh crap. I was the first one I found out Brian Kelly left. Like, oh, that's not good. But the more I've gotten into this, the longer the day's gone, I'm kind of going, he might stay. And if he doesn't stay, then we'll get Marcus Freeman, who I think's a hell of a coach. I think Marcus Freeman is a hell of a coach. I think he'll make a great head coach. Again, I want Luke, but if I can't have Luke, I'll take Marcus. Lee. No, I'm saying we want Georgia first. The rest will be easy. Oh, you want to play them first? Oh, really? See, I want to play them for the whole thing. That's just me. Because I think it'd be cool, a cool storyline for the team who I think had the two teams who had the best New Year's Day bowl game last year to play for the whole thing the next year. And I don't know. I just think that would be cool. But I mean, look, I just want to get in, to be honest. We get in. Nick, yes, that's a great statement right there. Nick, cautiously optimistic that he'll stay. And that's kind of where I'm at. But if for some strange reason we lose to Houston, everything goes out the window. But I don't think we're going to lose to Houston. I mean, I really don't. I'm pretty confident we're going to beat Houston. A couple more here, and I'm going to roll on out of here. Terry, Oklahoma State will do exactly what Oklahoma does when they play in the college football playoffs. They will get the piss beat out of them by Georgia. Probably. But one thing, Oklahoma State actually has a defense, and Oklahoma never had a defense, ever. All right. Let's get Rob here. per Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports, D will apparently wait. I guess you mean Notre Dame. Apparently wait for Fickle. Apparently, the number one choice, Jack Sherbert, suggested he will not name. Yes, yeah, he won't. Yeah, like I said, they're going to wait for him. That's what they're talking about, Rob. They said they're going to wait for him. Now, is that a week or is that a month? They didn't say a time frame of how long they're willing to wait. I think they're willing to wait to see what happens this week. You know, if UC gets into the college football playoffs, like I said, I don't see Luke leaving until after that, if he leaves. So is Notre Dame willing to wait a month before they get their head coach? I know they said they're willing to wait. They didn't say how long. A month, a lot happened. And this is the worst time to not have a head coach in college football. Early recruiting, getting your coaching staff set up, getting the transfer portal, getting players, getting the guys that are already at Notre Dame committed to stay. You won't be able to do any of that for a month. That's why I'm just like, I think they're willing to wait a week. I don't know if they're willing to wait past that. We'll see. Let's see. Rob, one more thing here. Assistants being told to stay on the road. Strong Catholic ties with Fickle. Notre Dame once renewed bonds with the tradition of the Midwest Catholic school recruit. Yeah, of course they're going to stay recruiting. But the thing is, it's kind of wasting their time. If they ain't got a coach, who they recruiting for? You know? That's they're going to say recruiting, but who's the coach? You know? So that's where they're saying all this stuff. To me, it's smoke. For at least this week. Like I said, if they continue to wait after this week, then I would definitely be worried. You know, then something is up. But we will see what we will see. Let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of them. They are Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, Bearcat Country, Cincinnati Reds, riding third, heading for home, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. And then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trenopole. TikTok is at Iceman90. I'll be pulling the sound off later on tonight and putting it on the podcast. So if you don't want to sit here and watch me for an hour, you can listen to it. It's on Spotify, BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Google, Stitcher, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Give me a 5-star review. Leave a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. YouTubers, my originals, we're 1,416 subscribers. That is awesome. You guys are great. In like 2 weeks, I did like one show because I was sick and then I was on vacation and I did a show yesterday and I added 4 more people. That is awesome. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. Like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, we'll be able to do a show. There's no reason. Nobody will be watching me. All right, one more here. Evan, what you got here? Evan Prather is going to be our guy next year. Oklahoma's quarterback, Spencer Rattler, entered the transfer portal. I think they should be in communication with him. Yeah, but I think, like you said, I think Prather is going to be our quarterback next year. Yes, I've heard that. I knew Rattler entered the transfer portal. It would be nice to get him over here to give competition for Evan. But as far as Spencer goes, I don't think it's a good fit. I mean, because I think Evan Prather is going to be our quarterback. But we'll see. But those are things that we could talk about in the offseason, hopefully with Luke Fickle still as our coach. But I appreciate you guys. I'm going to roll on out of here. And as my boy, Jeremy Dimebag D's Nuts likes to say, which hopefully someday he'll be back on the show, remember one thing and one thing only. And that is, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Houday, let's go watch the college football playoff show. Hopefully, the Bearcats will be at 3. That'd be nice. Or 4. Tomorrow night, the Bearcat basketball team is playing. Hopefully, they'll bounce back from the crazy loss. They shouldn't have lost to whatever the hell the school was. I can't remember who it was. They shouldn't have lost that game. But we got basketball. We got football tonight. We got basketball tomorrow night. Like I said, Bearcat fans, no matter what happens with Luke Fickle, enjoy these last 2 years. That's what I've been trying to preach to everybody. Enjoy this. because you never know when it's going to end. Like I said, it was 12 years ago we had Brian Kelly, and it was okay football until we got Tuberville, and it sucked. Then we got Luke, and it's been great. Enjoy it. Because just because, I'll put it this way, we're going to Big 12, doesn't mean Luke's not leaving. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame. Lake Ryan left Oklahoma. Coaches will leave, you know. It happens. Enjoy it. I see you guys tomorrow. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. In the night, stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who that, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight.